Good evening. This is Roger Perkins with Crusher Lures. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit and give you a little bit of instruction on a technique that everybody likes. It's real easy for beginners and then advanced. There's a lot of different techniques and a lot of different tricks to make this technique even better. But going into springtime now, water's warming up, fish are moving up. It's also getting closer to some of the fish are coming off bed, so there's a post-spawn element to it. Let me get that light out of the way a little bit. Yeah. So there's a little post-spawn element to things. So one thing is buzzbait. Now buzzbait seems pretty simple. Throw it out, reel it in, buzzes across the top. So I'm going to try to start this video as basic as can be for the beginner. And I have a battery issue here, but that's okay. Cool. So anyway, as I was saying, some of the guys that throw buzzbait a lot or are really educated on the ins and outs, it's probably not the video for them. But a novice guy or just starting out fishing, man, we encourage you to go get one and throw it. Don't even have to be our brand. I'd love it for you to throw a Crusher buzzbait, but buzzbaits are fun no matter what. They make several different kinds. You'll find this is a standard buzzbait that we build. You have some that hit the head, some that have a clacker at the top to make an additional, a noise there. We chose not to do that on ours, and I'll give you a reason why in a minute. But basically, what you have here is a lead head. Now I have one over here without a skirt, so you can see it a little bit better. Just a lead head that can be painted, unpainted, whatever. This particular one has a 3/0 mustad hook. Your wire comes in various diameters, and then of course you have the blade. Some are counterclockwise, some are clockwise. That's the direction of the spin that it makes when it's coming through the water. It's held on by a rivet. Rivet slides up and down on the shaft, and then it has a bend right here. You can see on that bend on the wire, and that holds it all together. So you have a nice little compact bait. Now a lot of people will say this imitates some small creature running across the water, or a fleeing shad. I don't know what's on that, or a fleeing shad or something like that. But basically, as it comes across the lake water surface, it creates a bubbles, and it creates a wake. It has a squeak to it, which is what I'll get to in a minute. It creates a high frequency sound in the water that bass can't, they can't stand. Colors out of the rainbow. Blade colors range from aluminum to painted to black to brass to copper to whatever. So you can get anything you want to as far as blade color goes. My all-time favorite, if I could just throw one buzzbait the rest of my life, it would be a 1/4 ounce black with aluminum blade. All right, that's probably 90% of my buzzbait fishing. That's what I throw. I do throw white in the fall and in the winter when you get a warm spell, but that's a whole different story. But I will throw white some during those conditions. So basically, a couple of tips about this thing. If you're going to go out there and throw it, grass, rocks, logs, it's very weedless. I do not throw a trailer on mine. Just as a personal preference. You can. Some people throw curly tail grub. Sometimes you can rip off the skirt and put a fluke on it, or a curly tail grub or something like that, and throw it. Still has that buzzing sensation coming across the top. It just doesn't have that skirt flare to it. So it gives it a little bit different look, especially on a pressured lake. So the main thing on ours, and I'll talk about the Crusher buzzbait because that's one that, of course, we make. But the regular buzzbait, starting with the wire, normal buzzbait wire size is about a 51 gauge, and we use a 40, either on the 3/8 or the 1/4. Now here's the difference. Now the one on this side, this is a Gold Digger edition. This has the gold blade to it. But the wire size, as far as the diameter of the wire, we use is a 40 gauge. And what that does is that blade will fit a 51, so it's stamped out in the hole for a 51 gauge, so it wobbles on the center line on the shaft. Years ago, people would take a buzzbait and they tie them to the antenna of their truck and they go down the road or they sit them in their window and let the sun heat them up. Everybody's looking for that perfect squeak on the buzzbait. Ours, by utilizing a thinner wire, it basically comes to you wore out. So if you threw ours all day, I'll throw ours all day, and a lot of times the back piece on here will really, really wear out to the point where you probably need a new blade. But that's one of the biggest keys to the buzzbait that I know of, is that wire size to achieve the squeak. Now, another way to do that is, you'll notice where the rivet is, it creates a clean bearing surface that the blade spins across of as it comes through the water. As the water hits water resistance, it will spin that blade, and it turns on that rivet. So here's what happens. The rivet slides up and down on the shaft, or it can, especially if you're popping your rod tip or something like that. All right. Now I don't want that. I don't want that bearing surface to move or be free, because it's going to lose contact with it and create something that's not normal. One thing I will say is, sometimes in the factory, if you can see this, that this piece here will turn down almost 90 degrees. Well, I don't want that either. So what I do is I take my trusty needle nose pliers here, and I'll bend it out straight, and then I'll take it, and I want only a 45-degree bend in it. And what that does is, when you slide the rivet all the way to the back, it kicks it up on the top side. Now, so it's not flat anymore against a flat bearing surface. All right, then I also take my pliers and I'll crush that sleeve of that, not the bearing surface, just the sleeve. I'll push it back against the bend, and then I take it and then I crimp it down real tight. And what I'll do is get it back there, and I want it smashed flat to the wire as you can get it. There we go. All right, so now it's flat, smashed flat. I don't know if you can see it real good, and it don't move. So here's what this causes. It causes a constant contact to that blade, so it won't bounce up and down and ride with it. Now I'll take the top piece of the rivet here, as it's hooked to it, and just that little top piece, and I'll take a notch of it and I'll twist it up just a hair. Just pinch it just a little bit. Take that and put a pinch in it. Now, if you could see it from this side here, and you can't really see it real good, but once you'll do it and you look at it, you'll notice the difference between this one and one that's straight out of the box. Is it's basically this flat piece of the blade is now going up and down on the shaft of that buzzbait wire. So when it wobbles back and forth and it flops up and down like that off of that rivet, it creates a really high-pitched sound. I don't know if the phone will actually pick it up, but in the water it amplifies it a lot and creates that squeak that you're looking for. So that is how to modify a buzzbait, either ours or somebody else's. Like I said, ours has a 40 gauge wire, and you see really good results. We have a really good following with our buzzbait. I know there's other brands out there, but any brand you do that to, it can create a different sound, and that different sound is what you're looking for. So the other tip that I have to this is a trailer hook. This particular trailer hook has the molded keeper already on it, so it comes on and off. What I do, instead of just hooking it straight in line, I turn it 90 degrees perpendicular to the other hook shaft, and I stick it through, and then I twist it back straight so it stays on there. And also, that's how I turn it and come it on, bring it off. Guess that's an old Uncle Josh number 11 trick, but that's the way I get it on and off. So always throw that trailer hook on there, especially in a post-spawn situation like you're fixing to come up against. You find that a fish is really kind of, I call it really groggy. They're kind of tired from spawning, and it agitates them enough to where they're wanting to hit it, but they don't really want to eat it real good. And they'll grab that back trailer hook. I've had tournaments where I caught everything on the trailer hook itself. So that's a really key, really key ingredient to being successful at buzzbait fishing. So I hope that helps you a little bit. And like I said, you can visit us. You can see all these online at crusherlures.com and give us a call. If I got time, I can go over it with you on the phone even. So, love to see you go out, buy some buzzbaits, and be successful with them. Till next time, see you later.